closer to potentially try to push back into the 8th spot, or do you think they should just keep the status quo of the roster?
So I'm a little torn by that question because what the team is indicating is that they are going for that 8th seed. Damian Lillard, as well as CJ, have stated multiple times that they are going for this 8th seed until the last-ditch effort. Now, that being said, if people don't know, the Portland Trailblazers do give up a lottery pick to Denver if they end up getting that 8th seed or making the playoffs this season at any circumstance. And so if you're looking at it from that perspective, I think it would be in the best interest of the Trailblazers to potentially not go for that 8th seed and be a seller. But at the same time, you know what? A half game out of the 8th seed, I think you want to just play it out a little longer and see if this team can hold in. You've got teams like Utah, New Orleans, teams that have been riddled with injuries throughout the season and are really coming back strong. Obviously, Gobert and Favors down there in Utah are finally healthy, and I expect them to make a real big push towards the latter stages of the season as well as after the All-Star break. And then you've got the Pelicans, who've been obviously pretty atrocious thus far, but really getting some guys back, and hopefully they can make some strides and maybe some moves to potentially get into that 8th spot or make a run at it at least. And then you've got sleeper teams like the Kings. So really, I mean, the 8th seed's all up for grabs in the Western Conference, so I don't blame the Trailblazers for going after it now, but I think we may see them pack it in if they're out by 5-6 games with, a couple months left in the season.
It's an interesting thing in Portland. Like you said, Portland's at that kind of a middle stage right now. You don't know where to go here and there, but they have an all-star guard in Damian Lillard. Is Damian Lillard the type of player, real quickly, Oliver, that can carry the Blazers to the next level? They got rid of everybody. Can Dame do it by himself, or do you think they still need another lottery pick or a young stud to help out?
I think Damian Lillard is that guy. We've seen it against some of the best guards in the West. He's put up astronomical numbers the past 3 or 4 games against the likes of Stephen Curry and Chris Paul, and really doing, wonders for a team that really wasn't expected to do very much. I think most people had him pinned at about 29, 28, 27 wins. And they're on pace for about, 30, 35, 40. If you look at it from that perspective, I think Damian Lillard's been the key provider of what the Trailblazers are doing. And he's really the out-and-out leader of this team. He signed up for basically 6 years, so he's going to be there on the long haul. And, they didn't sign him to $125 million to say you're the second man. He's the guy in Portland. He'll be that way. I expect it to be for the rest of his career.
Well, Oliver, before we let you out of here, we always play a game with our guests called 3-Point Play. And for those who never listened to it before, basically what it is we're pretty much, me, myself, and Mark, going to ask you a set of questions. You have 30 seconds to answer them. And so it'll be about random things in the NBA. So, Paul, lead off this one.
All right, so I'm on my own on this topic, and I need some support. Let's see if you help me out. So I'm taking Paul George over Carmelo Anthony as my if I had to choose one as an Team USA representative. Which one would you take, Paul George or Carmelo Anthony on the USA team? And this is international ball, obviously.
Yeah, I'm taking Paul George, and the only reason I say that is because he's younger. And, you've seen it with the USA team. They need leaders, and they need leaders that are young so that they can grow together and build together because, obviously, it's a team game. It isn't a one-person game. Now, obviously, Carmelo Anthony, he's played a lot better, but I'm all with you with that one. I really like Paul George's game and what he's done for the team.
My man, that's what I'm talking about.
Mark, it's on you.
Well, looking at the standings, everybody's talking about Golden State, Cleveland, even though, the game last night, we understand that. But the Spurs are probably the most quietest 6-loss team, 36-win team that I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
If the Spurs meet the Warriors in the playoffs, who wins?
Man, that's a difficult question. I think everybody's asking the same thing. I'm looking forward to watching it one way or another, but I can't go against the Warriors right now. I love what the Spurs do. I love how they play. I love the players that they put into their system, and everything works. But if I was to put money on it, I'd have to go with Golden State. Just Stephen Curry is just out of this world right now. I think he's one of the best players we've ever seen play. And that's not shorting other guys, but really what they're doing right now is incredible.
All right. So it's on me for a final question. So, Oliver, here's what I'm saying. Golden State and San Antonio are the two class of the Western Conference. Everybody's saying, Golden State's 38-4, San Antonio's 36-6. Realistically, if Enes Kanter learns how to play defense, do the Thunder win the Western Conference?
Man, I don't think they win the Western Conference, but I wouldn't put it past him to be in the Western Conference Finals and potentially go 7 games with whoever they play against, whether that's Golden State or San Antonio. I like Oklahoma City from top to bottom. I like the players they have. I like Westbrook a lot. I like Durant a lot. And obviously they've got some good role players, but if they can somehow figure out a way to get Kanter to play some defense, man, it would be an interesting outlook to see what that team could do.
Oliver, first and foremost, thank you very much for coming on the show tonight. So before I let you go, how does everybody get in contact with you on social media, and also what you got coming up article-wise?
So at Maroney on Twitter, so OMARONEY. You can follow me, all my articles and stuff on basketball.about.com. Cyberdust, wherever you want to go, but really Twitter's where everything is. And then as far as articles coming up, we've got a midseason awards article coming up here shortly. I've got a bunch of All-Star stuff to recap, and I'll be at the All-Star events and festivities, so I'll be covering all of that for everyone who wants it. So, but really, just follow me on Twitter.
Oliver, thanks for coming on tonight. Like I said, we'll definitely have to do this again, and of course, enjoy Rip City.
Yeah, thank you for coming on.
All right,
man.
Thank you very much, guys.
Guys, before we've had the break, we talk about the All-Star game. Do you think Draymond Green should start at the center position? Mark, what do you think?
No. I think he deserves to be an all-star. And I understand they're doing a 3-forward thing, but I say no. I say start a legitimate guy.
Paul?
Yeah, I'm kind of torn on this because he's played well enough to be a starter. He really has. I mean, do you pull out Durant? I don't know what you do. Yeah, I don't know what you do here, man. That's a tough one. He deserves to start, man. I think I would rather, because I know Drummond's going to start over in the East, I would rather see a more traditional big man play. I'm not really – I don't know, man. I'll say no. I'll go with Mark. I'll say no.
Chris, what do you think about that one?
I hate to do it, but I agree with them. I mean, put him off the bench if anything, but I don't think he needs to be a starting center.
It's kind of strange, right?
It really is. He's like a hybrid.
A very, very small hybrid. I mean, can you imagine him going against Drummond in the post in the All-Star game? What Drummond would do to this guy?
It's a strange match. That's why I don't want really. I'd rather him come off, like Chris said, come off the bench real quick. Whoever needs their first breather, just throw Draymond in there. It doesn't matter.
You know what? For once, I kind of agree with the All-Star voting. I kind of want to see Draymond Green. It's an All-Star game. Let's have a little fun with it.
Yeah, you would.
Of course I would. But the thing with that is, Green has played enough center this year to actually be, considered a center.
No, you're right. However, it's a situational lineup. That's why it's just a weird look to me, and I'm not used to it.
So what we're going to do is, like I said, we're going to take a quick break here on Full Court Press Radio, sponsored by SOFOELLC on the new 96.9 The Game Orlando Sports Leader. Check in with us. 407-916-8255 is the number to dial in with us tonight, or toll-free 800-729-8255. As usual, before we go to our break in the first hour of the second segment, we always have a good musical bring in from our good friends at Yippee-Ki-Yay Blues.
Get it together, Danny.
I know. It's fun. We always have these great blues segments, but we always have Yippee-Ki-Yay bringing us some great blues artists, and tonight is no exception. Tonight is R.B. Stone, and the track is Loosen Up off the album Loosen Up. So as we head to break, we're listening to some R.B. Stone's Loosen Up. So we'll be right back after these messages here on Full Court Press Radio, sponsored by SOFOELLC.
Life's too short, better learn to relax. You can't pay the bills with a heart attack. Loosen up, loosen up. Have a little fun, soak up a little sun. Loosen up.
Help is here. Morgan & Morgan at forthepeople.com.
Preschool, SPORTZ. Preschoolsports.com. Brought to you by Ryan Pearson. Preschool sports, ages 2 to 6. Register now for soccer and t-ball. Preschool sports right here in Central Florida. Fitness and fun, playing out in the sun. Preschool, S-P-O-R-T-Z. Preschoolsports.com.
There are times being a genius would really come in handy.
Karen, final question. You'll either walk out of here with $1 million or nothing. In what year did the Hicksonian astrophysical capital city fourth president invented? You have 5 seconds.
But thankfully, you don't need to be a genius to do your own taxes, because TurboTax helps turn complicated questions into simple ones that you can answer. Intuit TurboTax. Taxes done smarter.
The Sports RX with Brandon Kravitz and the Shot Doctor.
At 4:40 yesterday, we were treated to what we call in the business a snoozer. Pittsburgh against Denver. Now, Pittsburgh, because of injuries, had men on the field playing big roles like Fitzgerald Toussaint, Darius Hayward-Bay, and, of course, Marcus Whedon. The Broncos have such a good offense that their main part of the offense was Brandon McManus, who kicked 5 field goals. Now, Pittsburgh's backup running back Fitzgerald Toussaint fumbled at the Broncos' 34-yard line in the fourth quarter, and that was the Broncos' only scoring drive of the day. Peyton Manning, throwing knuckleballs into the wind all day, was mediocre at best. His receivers dropped the ball. There's several drops over there. Combination of flutter balls by Manning and receivers dropping the ball. The Broncos won, and that was one god-awful football game to watch. It was a sleep fest.
The Sports RX with Brandon Kravitz and the Shot Doctor. Weekday afternoons at 3 p.m. on FM 96.9, The Game.
Are you looking to expand your reach and following in all platforms of media? Do you need a jumpstart in expanding your brand to all markets across the world? SOFO is here for you. SOFO means something for everyone, and they are here to help you expand your business through all platforms of media. Their experienced team is here for you to expand your brand and put you and your business in places that you would have never been before. Check them out at www.SOFOELLC.com or call 407-607-9862. Follow SOFOELLC on Instagram and Twitter.
Geico applauds your inner happy camper.
A merit badge of awesomeness goes out to the part of you that wants to put the recreation in recreational vehicle. The part of you that packs up everything and everybody in the RV and says, let's get this show on the road. Because Geico has specialized agents who help save money on more than just car insurance. Geico will insure that entire RV, so you can get the s'more making, poison ivy dodging, same song singing, ghost storytelling, campfire building, best time you ever had with your family show on the road.
Geico for your RV. See how much you could save.
This is the beat of sports.
This can bode well if you're a person in San Diego hoping to keep the Chargers. The team has officially filed for the trademark application, Los Angeles Chargers.
That doesn't sound good at all. Yeah.
The team responding said, hey, this is part of our plan just to protect ourselves. It's not a sign that we're leaving.
Yeah, you never know.
The beat of sports with Mark Daniels.
9 a.m. weekdays on FM 96.9 The Game.
Are you looking to expand your reach and following in all platforms of media? Do you need a jumpstart in expanding your brand to all markets across the world? SOFO is here for you. SOFO means something for everyone, and they are here to help you expand your business through all platforms of media. Their experienced team is here for you to expand your brand and put you and your business in places that you would have never been before. Check them out at www.SOFOELLC.com or call 407-607-9862. Follow SOFOELLC on Instagram and Twitter.
Now, I know you've heard of this up-and-coming brand, Hoop Culture, but here's something you didn't know. They have just opened their first store in Fashion Square Mall, downstairs, right in front of the movie theater. That's right, the brand that brought you the iconic Eat, Sleep, Ball design is bringing their streetwear brand to retail. Visit the store at Fashion Square Mall right here in Orlando, or visit them online at hoopculture.com, or follow them at Hoop Culture. Our listeners save 30% off your next order. Use the code RADIO at checkout.
It's Advertising 101.
The way you want it. FM 96.9, The Game on AM 740 and iHeartRadio.
We are back for Full Court Press Radio, sponsored by SOFOELLC on the new 96.9 The Game, Orlando Sports Leader. I'm your host, Danny